Hello everyone, Keza here today bringing you the reintroduction of Hardmode hunts. These are an old Project Sanctuary tradition in which you start out with almost nothing, just some basic stuff, and you go out and you try to find better items as you hunt with your group. And the whole thing leads you on just a crazy journey you saw a little bit of there at the beginning, and you eventually fight a huge boss. These events also scale very well, whether you have 5 people or 25 people. It can be made to work. If there are, of course, more than about 9 people, it's usually split into 2 groups that go separate ways. So there is enough loot and not too much crowding. A lot of people do bring melee dexers to this, and if you get 25 melee dexers all trying to attack the same target, you get a big issue with crowding, and of course, you know, 1 or 2 people are going to be the fastest looters and just get everything, so that doesn't work out so well. Anyways, you can see here this smaller group of 7 that we went on our first run with worked out rather well. We just kept each other alive, used what we found, and just kept going forward. Now the build I'm using here is a really weird one. It's my parry dexer with lockpicking, and you might have seen at the beginning I started with no weapon for a while. And then I got a Chris. This is actually a swords character. I was just grabbing whatever weapon I could find, because I started out with the crafter kit, which has no weapon with it, but it does have 10 lockpicks, so that's been allowing me so far to unlock all these chests so we can have a little extra loot for the group, which is actually very helpful because a lot of the lower level stuff you fight at the beginning will not drop enough weapons for everyone, or upgraded weapons at least. So yeah. It's a weird build. I actually kind of built it for both doing hard mode hunts and just for having fun dungeon crawling and treasure hunting on my own. But anyways, back to this. It's really an interesting event because you get people excited about finding stuff like mummies to kill because they drop bandages, and that's a very useful thing to have on these hunts. And it also just, you know, you have to think about what the lesser monsters drop for the first time in a while. Somewhat used also in Night of Horrors. You don't really think much about what all these lower level things have on them. These hunts definitely give players a chance to fight some of that lower level stuff again. Kind of a nice break from fighting all the dragons, balrons, blood elementals, and all that stuff that a lot of players have gotten used to fighting over the years. Another nice feature of the hard mode hunts is that you actually get a chance to spend the gold that you loot as you go. So fighting these lower level things, you know, you're getting 50 gold here, 70 gold there, and it all adds up a little bit, and you can spend it for upgraded weapons and supplies, all kinds of stuff at the main starting point here. After which you set back out and the adventure continues. Each one of these hard mode hunts is designed to last around 60 to 90 minutes, and they're usually made to scale pretty well. So like I said, it's usually between 15 to 25 people for most of these, and we have various ways to, you know, make it harder or easier depending on how many people show up. So yeah, that is it in a nutshell. Project Sanctuary will be hosting more of these as time goes on, especially throughout this summer where there's a lack of other events happening. One of the reasons I hosted this first smaller event with just Project Sanctuary members is to get others comfortable with the idea of hosting the hard mode hunts on their own. I definitely don't have the time to be around and host these every weekend, but if I can get other people hosting them as well, we might be able to see a lot more of them. So we'll just see what happens. This run actually went very smoothly. We did Deceit, Terror Keep, and then we ended it with a Dragon's Den map. Actually quite flawless. Very few deaths and no PKs showed up. PKs showing up has historically always been very funny because you get a bunch of Dexers on foot trying to chase around PKs, and we have, like, you know, Ruin and Might weapons on us. So yeah, our odds of beating PKs is about nothing. So when PKs show up, they're more than welcome to kill the whole group and take our pointless weapons, and then we get the chance to restart and get new loot. So That's just part of how these hunts go, and if everyone gets wiped out and, you know, has to start over from scratch, it's not exactly a huge loss. So yeah, it's expected, it's part of the game, it's just part of the fun here. Hopefully everyone enjoyed this video on the return of hard mode hunts. Hopefully Project Sanctuary gets the opportunity to host a lot more of them as time goes on. If you guys have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them as always, and I look forward to seeing you guys around in game sometime.